Good evening, and once again, thank you all for being here tonight. I guess that's all I really need to say is thank you, but instead, I'd rather tell you a story. This is a story I came across one Sunday. It really touched me, and it stuck with me ever since. However, this does require a bit of imagination. So, all you graduates up here, you need to imagine yourselves as teacups. And don't worry, it will all make sense in the end. Let's begin, shall we? Once upon a time, an older couple was vacationing in Europe and, passing by a quaint little shop, noticed a beautiful teacup in the window. The woman who collected teacups was absolutely mesmerized, and so the couple strolled in to check it out. "Oh, it's beautiful," the woman exclaimed as she reached out to touch it. A funny thing happened then. The teacup responded to her. "Why, thank you," the teacup said, "but I haven't always been this way. It took a process of pain to bring me to this place. You see, once I was just an ugly lump of dirty old clay. A man took me. He pounded me, he squeezed me, he kneaded me, and he twisted me. I begged him, 'Please, stop!' 'Stop, Mark.' But he only smiled at me and said, 'Not yet.' Then he gave me to a woman who took me and put me on a plate, and I went spinning and spinning around and around and around, and I was so incredibly dizzy. I begged again, 'Please, stop, stop!' But she too only smiled and said, 'Not yet.' Then another man took me to the oven, and he put me in and closed the door. It started to get hotter and hotter, and I was afraid I would burn to death. I cried out, 'Please, stop, stop!' But he peeked in through the door, and I could see him smiling, saying, 'Not yet.' He finally opened the door to fresh air and took me out. He handed me off to another woman who set me on a table and got out some paint and a paintbrush. She started tickling me, but the fumes of the paint were choking me. I tried to cry out, 'Please, stop, stop!' But she only smiled and said, 'Not yet.' Finally, when she stopped trying to suffocate me, she gave me back to the oven man, who put me in the oven again. It was so hot in there, I was afraid I wouldn't make it. I yelled, 'Please, stop, stop!' But he only shook his head and said, 'Not yet.' The man finally took me out, placing me on a high shelf. As he looked at me, a tear rolled down his cheek, and he said, 'You are exquisite. Would you like to see yourself?' Of course I said yes, but as I turned around to face the mirror, I saw something shocking. I saw a beautiful teacup. I turned to him and said, 'That is not me. I am just a lump of clay.' But he said, 'No, that is you. But it took a time of trials to bring you to this place, and thus I became a beautiful teacup.' The couple smiled, buying the teacup to sit on their highest shelf in their collection to ever remind them of the story of the lovely little teacup. You see, every one of you is just like that teacup. Had the man not worked him as clay, the clay would have dried up. Had our family not been there for us, we would have never wanted to go to school or even work hard. Thank you to every family member who has ever encouraged us to go on or taught us something we couldn't learn in school. You have made us dinner, baked cookies for bake sales, offered to chaperone on field trips, wished us good luck on tests, everything. Thank you to every family member who has ever been proud. Thank you to every family member here. It is your love that keeps us going. It was you that kept us going through school without letting us dry up. Thank you. Had the woman not subjected the teacup to the stress of the wheel, he would have crumbled. Had our friends not been there to support and compete with us, we may have never tried anything new or tried our best. Thank you to every one of our friends. You've changed us. You've wormed your way into our hearts, and without your support, your best advice, and your constant ability to make us smile, we would never have survived the stress of school. You've been a shoulder to cry on, and a person who would laugh at the same lame jokes. It was your support that kept us from crumbling. Thank you. Had the man not heated the teacup in the oven, he would have cracked. If our elementary and middle school teachers had not worked their absolute hardest to teach us the basics, we would have never been able to move on in our studies. Thank you to all of the teachers that we have had from kindergarten to 8th grade. Thank you for demonstrating that teachers were people we could count on, and for easing us gently through every grade and every topic so that we gradually became more knowledgeable and more comfortable in our school environment. You taught us the basics of everything, academically and socially. It was you that prepared us so we wouldn't crack under pressure. Thank you. Had the woman not suffocated the teacup with paint, he would have no color in his life. Had our coaches, advisors, custodians, counselors, and administrators not been in our lives, we would have had no chance to show our true character, or learn about the real world, or develop the talents, habits, or hobbies that many of us will carry with us. Thank you to every single person who has ever touched our lives, through academics, school-related activities, or otherwise. There is a reason it is called extracurricular. You have added the extra element to our school days that we really needed. You have given us extra challenges to build our character, extra hobbies to keep us busy, extra hints to keep us in line when needed, and you were always there to help us and give us a smile. Thank you for being understanding and for pushing us to be the best. It was you who added color and variance to our school lives. Thank you. Had the man not put the teacup in the oven a second time, the teacup would not have the strength to endure. Had our high school teachers not pushed us, counseled us, and always been there for us, we would not be ready to be thrown out into the world. Thank you, high school faculty, for preparing us for life. You found creative ways to teach us things we needed to know and always had our best interests at heart. You've been people we could look up to, people we could have casual conversations with, and people we could joke with. You've been advisors to our personal lives and been not only teachers, but friends. You've done everything in your power to mold us into the strong young people we've become. Because of you, we have the strength to endure. Thank you. And finally, on behalf of the class of 2009, I would like to thank everyone here today. You've stood by us for years, and we couldn't be more grateful. You've taught us that adding adrenaline to bugs doesn't always affect them. The fire extinguishers do indeed work. Bowling ball pendulums can be safe, and knowledge is a gift to be treasured forever. Yes, there were times when we didn't want to hear what you had to say. There were times when we hated you and you hated us, and we were frustrated with the world. There were times when you pushed us, and all we wanted to do was cry, "Please, stop, stop!" But we made it through, and without you, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be strong if you didn't challenge us. We wouldn't be confident if you didn't encourage us. We wouldn't be wise if you didn't teach us. So thank you. Thank you, friends, family, teachers, faculty. You have taken us from dirty little lumps of ugly clay to the beautiful, colorful teacups we are today. Thank you.